Jim and Doug Show, special edition, playoff for the NFL. How you doing,
Yeah.
partner?
Great. How about you? Ready for some football?
Yeah. So let's touch base. Let's start on the NFL. Let's go back a week and see why how we got to where we are today.
Yeah.
Out of the 4 games last week, like I told you, I was going against my instincts with Andrew Luck, and I regret it.
Big mistake.
They took care of Houston, no problem.
Yeah. I thought Houston's defense would play a lot better. But that offensive line for Indy is just like controlled the game, and they were able to push them around pretty easily. So I mean, look, I'm not going to make that mistake today. A little foreshadowing, but I think we definitely missed the boat on that.
Yeah, we really did. I mean, either we overrated Deshaun Watson or I underrated Andrew Luck and his offensive line, and I think that's the way we go. We'll get to our picks in a little bit, but Seattle, I think they're a better football team than Dallas. I think Dallas just got out of there with their lies. I took Dallas, but I wasn't impressed with them. I think that.
Yeah, I don't think Seattle was coached very well in that game. I think they should have played a lot better. They stayed with the run way too long when Dallas had an answer for it. I think if they let Russell Wilson kind of do his thing, I think there might have been a different outcome of that game. I thought Dallas played okay. I thought they played good. They'll have to take it up a level or two to beat the Rams, but I think they played well enough to win, and I think Seattle kind of did not play their best game.
The thing that was strange at the end, instead of doing the onside kick, they just pooched it and let the Cowboys.
The kicker was hurt. So this guy, I guess, never did an onside kick before. But like anything is better than what he did. Like I don't even know what that was. Just put the ball and kick it right at somebody. Maybe it takes a funny bounce. I mean, there's a better chance.
That's all they needed to do. They totally conceded the game. It was kind of a weird thing. It was
very
strange ending. And like I said, onside kicks don't usually work anyway. But you got to give yourself at least a chance. I mean, that was strange.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So the other game was the Chargers at the Ravens. I had the Chargers, like I said, but I was a little surprised that Baltimore didn't give him much more of a fight, and I don't know if I put this all on Rivers that he won the game for them, but
no, not at all.
No,
No, the Chargers defense really played. That was my prediction, really, that they were going to figure out Baltimore, that they were going to figure out that offense, and they were going to kind of limit it, and that Rivers would do just enough, which pretty much was what happened. And the special teams was not very good for the special teams was very good for L.A. Baltimore special teams was lacking, and then they didn't take care of the ball. So if you don't take care of the ball in the playoffs, man, you're done.
Yeah, I think Anthony Lynn is a good coach. I think he did a good job there.
Yeah, he is. He is a good coach. I like him. They have a little something there, and it's not just Phillip Rivers. Their defense is really playing well. They have a little mojo, but we'll talk about today's game or tomorrow's game later. But I like what I see from them. And then, the Bears. The Bears should have won that game by 10 or 14 points, and they couldn't do it.
I know. I think they're a much better team than Philadelphia. But hey, listen, you got to give Foles credit. I mean, he hung in there. I mean, the guy he wins big games. There's no getting around it. But
yeah.
I mean, I feel bad for the kid from Chicago. I mean, he makes the field goal, and that drives me crazy. The call on the timeout just as the ball is snapped, that drives me crazy.
I don't like it either. I don't like it. It's just, I think once they line up, it should be outlawed, or at least like in the last 2 minutes of the game or something like that. It should be outlawed, but it's
right.
Just, I don't know.
Either the timeout gets called before the snap, or that's it at all.
I think once they line up, I think that should be it. But that's splitting hairs, and you can't. You'll never be able to. They'll never find a rule that works for that. So we're gonna have to just deal with it.
I mean, and listen, I got to give this kid Parkey credit the way he handled himself. Listen, Chicago, they're relentless. I mean, he's going to go down as Bartman. He's not going to be able to walk the streets in Chicago. But
that kick did get tipped, though. You can see that kick got tipped. So I wouldn't blame all of it on him. I know it looked like it wasn't going to go in anyway, but that kick did get tipped a little bit. So I wouldn't put all of it on him. But yeah, he's going to be the name that no one wants to talk about in Chicago for a while.
Oh, he is the new Bartman in Chicago. But I tell you, I saw him yesterday on some talk show. Handled himself with class and grace, and I got to give the kid credit. And I will tell you, a couple of guys on his team actually stood up for him too, which was good to see. Because I think in particular this guy Akeem Hicks, who I think is a stud. He's played incredible football this year.
He's really good, really good. Yeah, he stood up for him, and you know what, man? This is said every time that a kicker misses or a player strikes out at the end of the game or things like that. Like, one play doesn't make a game. And like I told you, Bears should have won that game by 10 or 14. And Trubisky didn't have his best game, and they didn't attack the Eagles' secondary at all till the end. And it shouldn't have been even that close. I really don't think. So it really shouldn't have came down to that. So it's kind of hard to just blame Parkey. You know what I mean? It's never.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. I think they were a better team than the Eagles, but the Eagles just.
I don't know how they.
Yeah, I don't know either. So let's see where we are. That moves us up. So last week, I was 2-2. You were 1-3. Let's see if we could pick ourselves up this week.
We got better than that.
All right. So what? First game is Indy at KC. I think, right? Yeah, that's the first game tomorrow.
All right, I'll let you go first on that.
All right, well, I'm not making the same mistake. And listen, I've been on Kansas City's bandwagon, and I know Mahomes is having a great season, but they have a horrible, horrible record in the playoffs. And, I think they're 0-9 at home games in the playoffs, which is an almost a staggering number. And I'm not gonna make the same mistake twice. I'm gonna take Andrew Luck and the Colts this week. How about you?
See, here's the thing with me. I think if we're talking about the spread, I'm definitely taking Indy. I like that for those points. But I think KC wins a close game. So if we're gonna go by strictly win, I think KC wins by a field goal. I think there's gonna be a lot of points scored. I think specifically Indianapolis is gonna be able to do whatever they want. They're gonna be able to run the ball. They're gonna be able to throw the ball. KC's defense is porous. It's just so bad. Their line's going to be able to push KC around the whole game. But I think KC feeds on the defense, the type of defense that the Colts play. They play that zone that, they kind of sit back in that cover two, and they kind of just attack and try and force turnovers. Patrick Mahomes is a beast on that. So I don't think that there's going to be a lot of defensive stops in this game. So I'll go with the slightly better offense, which is KC. So I think they'll win 41-38, something like that.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's going to be a high-scoring game because I don't think much of either one of the defenses, and you got two quarterbacks that shown that they could score. What's the line? Probably what? 4.5?
5.5.
5.5. Well, like I said, I'm not a big points guy, so we'll stick with who's going to win and who's going to lose.
I'm going to let it be known that it's a close game that I have the Colts plus 5.5, but I like KC to win.
Okay.
So. Cowboys at Rams. I'll go first on this one. So right now, I think it's 7. Rams are favored by 7 in this game. I can't bring myself to pick the Cowboys just because I just can't pick them. I honestly really think they're going to cover the spread. I think they're going to keep it very close. They're playing well. I liked how they played in Seattle. Maybe you didn't like them as much as I did. I thought they controlled the clock pretty well, and Prescott made the throws when he had to make the throws. I don't think that Prescott making the throws when he has to is going to be enough to beat the Rams, but I think that they're going to control the clock enough to keep it close. So I'm going to do the same thing I did. I said if you're going to bet the Cowboys, but I think Rams win.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you. Either both on the points and who wins. I think the Rams are a better team. I don't think Dallas has the tools enough to beat the Rams, especially on the road.
Thing is, though, it's going to be kind of a Cowboy home game there. Those Cowboy fans are traveling out there because the Ram fans don't really go there. Go to the games. Yeah,
I know. They pile up the vans and head out, but like I said, I've been impressed with Goff all season, and I'm not going to jump off his boat. And I think Donald will wreak havoc on Prescott and shut down the Dallas run. And
I hope so. That's the one thing the Rams are good at is stopping the run. So if that gets shut down, Dallas has no chance.
yeah, and I told you, I really came around on this Aaron Donald. I couldn't be more impressed. No question, he's the best defensive player in the league, and I think he puts the pressure with Sue on Prescott. And Prescott, he puts the ball on the floor every now and then. So I think that's going to be their downfall. I think he turns it over a couple times, and I think the Rams kind of win easily in this game.
Yeah, I hope you're right. I think I don't know. I think the Cowboys maybe they can keep it backdoor or keep it close. The way they control the clock is pretty impressive to me. So we'll see on that one. All right, go to tomorrow's game. I'll tell you right now, I love the Chargers. I love the Chargers at the Patriots. Patriots are favored by 4. I like the Chargers to win, I think. I think they're going to win. I think this is it for the Patriots. I think this is the beginning of the end for them. So I don't think they're talented. They're particularly one of the most talented Patriot teams I've seen. I don't know. Like I said, I have this vibe coming from the Chargers where they're kind of like a team of destiny type thing. Their defense is playing extremely well. Phillip Rivers, he didn't look good against Baltimore last week, but the Patriots defense is not even close to Baltimore. So I think they'll be able to move the ball and put up some points. So I'll take the Chargers to win outright in that game.
All right, listen, I think I agree with you. No question, this isn't the most talented New England team, but this is the playoffs. They are at home, and I'm going to take the Patriots. I know conventional wisdom says most people are taking the Chargers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they may keep it close. I certainly don't think New England's going to blow them out because I think the Chargers' defense is a little underrated. But there is no way I'm going to take Phillip Rivers over Tom Brady in the playoffs on the road. I don't care. I know Brady's 41 and, things are winding down for him. But he wants this. He wants to go out with a win. And I don't think they're going to leave it on the table. And I'm going to take New England in this. And I don't know, what's the line, 4.5, 4 points, something like that?
Yeah, I think it was 4.5. I think it's 4 now.
Right. So I think it could be a close game, but overall, I think New England wins and Chargers go home, and I get vindicated on Rivers getting stopped on the way to the Super Bowl again.
I want to see Rivers win it, man. I think he's more than put his dues in. He's had a lot of seasons with great stats, but not good teams around him and things like that. So I'm rooting for him personally. I'm just done with the Patriots. I don't want to see them win anything. So I'll root for him, and I hope they keep going.
And I told you all along. I said Rivers, he's got numbers. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He's got the most passing yards for any quarterback that hasn't won a Super Bowl. But I just don't think that they can go in and beat Belichick and Tom Brady. I think, even though I like Anthony Lynn, I think Belichick is doing his homework. And like I said, we know the Brady-Belichick era is coming to an end, and I just don't think it's going to end this weekend. So I'm taking the Pats.
Okay.
All right?
All right, last game. Probably, I would say the one that will be least competitive in my opinion, but we'll see. Saints hosting Eagles. Saints favored by 8. I'll get your take on this one first.
All right. Well, listen, I think New Orleans is definitely a better football team. I do get a little bit nervous because with Foles, he seems to win the big games regardless of what talent he has around him. But I think I agree with you. I think I'm going to take New Orleans, and I don't want to say a rout, but they're going to put up a lot of points because I don't think Philadelphia's defense can stop them. Both Kamara and they got good wide receivers and so forth. And this is Breeze is winding down his career too. He's having a stellar year, possible MVP season. But I'm going to take New Orleans over this. I think Philly's run finally comes to an end, and I don't know the points. That sounds like a high spread. Philly may keep it close. I could see it being a 7-point game, but I don't see them beating New Orleans, especially in the Superdome.
Yeah, I think. The last time they played, It was 48-7 Saints, and I was with Winston. But I know it's a different team now. Philly's rolling with Foles, so I'm not gonna. I don't think that plays much credence. But one thing I will pick out is that Philly secondary is very susceptible, and this isn't Mitchell Trubisky they're facing this week. This is Drew Brees with those, his gang of receivers, and he doesn't play favorites. He gets the open man, and I just don't see that secondary being able to. It's kind of like a boat. That's a boat that has a bunch of holes in it, and you keep trying to plug up the holes, and another one comes out. Another one's leaking. Another one's leaking. You can't plug up all the holes. You're not gonna be able. They're not that secondary. That's inexperienced guys off the street. They're not gonna be able to plug up all the holes of the Saints offense. You got Kamara. You got Ingram. You got Thomas. You got Ted Ginn Jr. going deep. It's just not. It's just you got Hill coming. It's just too many weapons that they're gonna have to contend with. For a group that's still kind of getting to know each other back there. I think Saints will put up a lot of points. I think the Eagles will score. I don't think they'll score as many as the Saints. Saints defense is kind of middle of the road. I think it'll be like a 41-27 type game. Maybe like 34-17, 41-27, something like that in that range. But I think the Saints win and cover.
Okay. Well, listen. I mean, we're on board with two of the games. We disagree in two of the other games, which is exactly what we did last week. And let's see how it plays out. So, listen. Before we move on to the college football national championship game, which I want to touch on real quick, a lot of changes, a lot of vacancies filled, and I got to tell you, typical Jets. I mean, if it comes down to Mike McCarthy and Adam Gase, and you go with Gase, you got to ask yourself what is going on here.
And McCarthy wanted to go there. He wanted it. McCarthy wanted the job, and I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know. I don't get it. Look, is Gase the worst choice they could have made? No, but the Super Bowl winning coach was right there for them. That wanted to be a Jets coach. He said, "I'm not interviewing for any other jobs except the Jets." He was right there. They have a young quarterback. When he was known for helping develop Aaron Rodgers and working with Brett Favre, two of the best quarterbacks ever.
Right, and they keep saying, what a great job Gase did in Miami with coaching Ryan Tannehill. I'm like, who were you watching the past 3 years? I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, he made the playoffs with Tannehill once, but I don't know. That was a couple years ago. Tannehill was hurt. The 7-9 is, I wouldn't write home about that. Their offense was always in the lower half of the league, bottom of the league offense. I don't know.
I think this was finally a chance for the Jets to get a qualified NFL experienced Super Bowl winning coach, and they left it on the table. And you know what? They're going to pay for this down the road.
Yeah.
Gase is going to last maybe 2 years. They're going to be 7-9 next year, and no better the year after that. And he's going to get fired again, and McCarthy's going to be in some gig somewhere else, and they're going to say, "We missed the boat here."
The tough part is Gase is the Jets are expecting to be good next year because they have their Darnold's there. They have their free agency money that they're going to spend, and they're expecting to be a competitive team. They're expecting to try and make a run at the playoffs or even the division. But I just don't see. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I give Gase a chance because if you want to say he did such a good job, he didn't do a good job with Tannehill. You got to look at it from the other end. He didn't have the best quarterbacks to work with, and when he did work with a good quarterback, Peyton Manning, they put up record-setting numbers. I know Peyton Manning's his own coach and everything, but this is the argument for Gase. I think they think that if he's given a quality quarterback to work with, they can put up numbers. So. I mean, would it my choice? No. I think Gase would have been my third choice on their list. But I see their thinking a little bit, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, and the thing that drives me crazy a little bit about Miami, too, is, okay, so they got rid of Gase, inexperienced coach, didn't win, and they're going to hire Brian Flores from the Patriots, linebacker coach, as the head coach. I mean, when you go down that road and you get an inexperienced coach and it doesn't work out, I mean, listen, I would have taken Bruce Arians. I know he's signed with somebody else already and so forth. I always think he's a good coach. But the same kind of thing that the Jets did, the Dolphins did the same thing. nothing against Brian Flores at all, but I mean, you want to really do that again? You want to hire a defensive guy to coach Tannehill?
I mean, I think Tannehill's gonna be gone. I think he wore out his welcome there. But you know, I won't get on the Dolphins for that, because every coach needs their start. You know what I mean? Every coach is gonna be, you know, a first year guy at some point, and you hit on a few and you don't hit on a few. So, you know, he could be like Bowles or a situation or a McAdoo and be a failure, but he also could be Sean McVay, Anthony Lynn. You know, you see all these first-time head coaches that are making runs in the playoffs now. Sean McVay, Lynn, you know, I'll think of another one. But there's first-year coaches that do well. And so I think, you know, I think it's just a matter of finding the guy that fits your organization well. Gase is just, you know, he was very passive with the media, and he was kind of like a jerk with the media, and he's very cocky and things like that. Flores may be a complete opposite of that, you know? He may be, you know, completely different. I don't really know him that well. So.
And listen, maybe I'm old school, but I never thought, you know, a defensive coordinator was the right guy to be a head coach. I'm not even saying that the guy has to be an offensive like a McVay who seems to be, you know, the boy genius right now. But, you know, Bowles and these guys, I just don't see defensive coordinators. Ryan was the same way. Maybe one exception was, I guess, Parcells, right? I mean,
Belichick.
Yeah, but he seems to have a knack with surrounding himself with some of the best minds in the game, which, you know, I give him credit. You know?
Well, that's anybody. I think any coach needs good assistants. Otherwise, you're only as good as that.
Well, like I said, there's still a couple vacancies left. But most of them are getting filled now. You know, I was a little surprised Arians came out of retirement, but, you know, you can't take the football out of a coach. That's
Yeah. Well, you know what? He pretty much retired. He went to Florida, so.
yeah, they don't have much to work with down in Tampa, so I don't know if that's going to last very long.
I think it's a rebuilding type thing. I think that's why they brought him in. Kind of set up a culture there.
He's got to get rid of Jameis Winston because they're not going to win with him. I mean, if that's got to be his first line of business.
Yeah, well, he thinks he likes Jameis. He wants to play with him. So,
He's 6-10 season then. You know?
Well, good. Giants play them next year, so good. Okay. What was I going to say?
All right. So listen, that's a good wrap up on the NFL. The playoffs is underway. It's looking good, and you know, we'll try to catch up next week and make sure that, you know, let's recap where we are, because next week will be Championship Sunday. You know?
Yes, absolutely. All right.
So listen, let's not forget the Clemson. Big win over Alabama. And listen, you know, I told you, we talked about it, and I said I liked Clemson with the points. I knew they were going to keep it close, but not me or anybody thought they were going to go in and absolutely blow Alabama out of the stadium.
That was something, man. I was very surprised by that game. Bama, I mean, but early on it just looked like it was going to be a shootout because Bama wasn't getting stopped either. And then Saban kind of lost his mind going for it on fourth down a bunch of times. I don't know what that fake field goal to start the second half. I don't know what that was.
I don't understand that either. I don't understand it either.
It was tough to watch.
But, you know, I mean, the reason that I was so surprised, like I said, I knew Clemson came a long way from that Syracuse game where they almost got beat by Syracuse.
Yeah.
But, you know, the talent that they showed, which, you know, either that's Dabo Swinney, and somebody asked me, do you think Swinney outcoached Saban? No,
yeah.
I don't know if he did. I think they actually have more talent than we gave him credit for, and maybe Alabama had less talent than we gave him credit for. I don't.
I'll say this: if you put up 44 points on a Nick Saban defense, you outcoached him. I'm sorry, you outcoached him. He doesn't give up 40 points ever.
Oh, I know. He's
so
beside himself.
So if you put up 40-something points on him, you outcoached him. That's my opinion.
Wow.
And, you know, you could say, you know, they're both talented. They both have the best recruits in the world. So I think that's where it really comes down to is who's going to put who in a better position. So I think he definitely did.
And you got to give a lot of credit to this kid Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I mean, really, what a talent that he showed. He handled himself with class and dignity, and he said all the right things, and he came out and he executed. And yeah, I'd hate to say that Nick Saban got out coached, and I'm still going to think the talent was the driving factor. But wow, I tip my hat to Dabo Swinney. You're right; they get the best recruits in the country and so forth. But you know, that's 2 and 4 years for Swinney, and you know, he can go wherever he wants. I mean, I don't think he wants to leave there.
No, he won't go anywhere. He could go to the NFL. That's what you could go if he wants. But that's it. That's about it. He's got the best job in the world there right now, besides Bama.
But somebody I don't know who it was, but I was listening to somebody, and they were talking about that because, you know, they were talking about Lincoln Riley, you know, coming out and going to Cleveland or something. And I started to think the same thing. Go, for what? I mean, you know, you're at that level. Oklahoma gets, right? They may not be Alabama and Clemson from a recruiting, but they're not far behind.
Oh, no, they can.
You got it made.
Any given day, you could win.
I don't see any upside to leaving a program like Oklahoma, going to the NFL. I mean, Saban tried it, didn't work. But I think that's kind of the same thing. I don't see Swinney going to the NFL. I see him as a college coach. I think he loves it. And, you know, like I said, from a financial perspective, yeah, he'll be the highest paid coach, and him and Saban, 1-2. I don't see him going to the NFL, though, you know.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of, I think it's really like a personal preference type thing. I think you're right about that. It's just like, if your dream is to coach in the NFL, then your dream is to coach in the NFL. And no one can tell you nothing else. You know, right. Clemson can pay you all the money in the world, and you can win all the championships in the world, but if your dream is to coach in the NFL, then you might choose that. If your dream is to be the coach of Alabama and that's it, then you can stay there. You know,
right.
Or coach of Clemson and stay it. I mean, I think the one place Swinney would go would be if Saban retired and go. He would go to
exactly. You absolutely hit it right on the head. He played there. That's the only place he would go. Is Alabama if that job ever opens up. Otherwise, I think he stays at Clemson and these guys battle it out year after year. It's going to be the same way.
I don't see Saban retiring anytime soon. I feel like he would have nothing to do if he would, like, coaching is his life. He talks about how he watches like 10 minutes of TV a day. That's it. And besides that, he just coaches. So I don't know what he would do with his free time anymore. I see him as like a Bill Snyder, just like a lifer.
Well, I mean, he's got the job as long as he wants it. But you're right.
That's what I mean.
He's got, but even before he considers retiring, he wants at least another national championship.
Oh, please. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. Right? Every year he's going into it. For sure.
And you know, listen, while we're on college football, there was something I meant to bring up last week because I really think it was a powerful story. It was an emotional story that young kid from Purdue, Tyler Austin, right? I mean, how awesome was that he was at their game, Purdue knocks off Ohio State, and I mean, how incredible that was. And then, you know, the kid ultimately last week, a week and a half ago, succumbed to the cancer that he battled all along. But you know, that was one of the great stories in the past 15 years. It really was a moving story, and it was. You know, let this kid rest in peace. He was a class act kid, and I just wanted to make sure that we mentioned it because, you know, we hear so much garbage about, you know, some of the corruption in college football and so forth, but that really was a powerful story, and you know, I wanted to make sure we recognized him.
Yeah, no, 100%. The thing is, I kind of like missed the boat on that story for some reason. Like I didn't watch that game, that Purdue-Ohio State game. I was out somewhere. And so I kind of, like, was late to the party on it. And then, you know, he was in the news again with, you know, going to the Colts game, and he was going to the Purdue Bowl game. So I kind of finally read up on it. It was just a really amazing story. You know, rest in peace to him, you know, thinking about his family and everything. But it was good that his last few days on this earth were were worthwhile. You know, he got to see a lot of things and do a lot of things. So.
Yeah, no, it really was a moving story, and I wanted to make sure we mentioned it. So.
Uh-huh.
All right, listen. So we'll keep this to football. We got some baseball stuff coming down the road, but nothing earth-shaking. Machado still hasn't signed. Harper still hasn't signed. So.
Well, I'll say Machado's probably not coming to the Yankees, so I was wrong.
Well.
I really thought he was gonna. I thought they were gonna bite on him, but I mean, I guess they still might. He's out there, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Now,
yeah, I don't think it's done, but it looks like he wants to. What are you thinking? I mean, Chicago?
I think White Sox is going.
Yeah.
They signed his brother-in-law. They got the money for him, so I think that's where he'll end up. I think he can play short. He can be the shortstop, which he wants to be. So we'll see.
And I'm happy for it. Like I said, I mean, I still don't think Yankees, they'll match whatever the White Sox offer him, but I'm not disappointed if he doesn't go to the Yankees.
Yeah, well, they got LeMahieu, which he's the kind of guy I wanted. When we were talking at the beginning of the offseason, I said I want a guy that hits for average, that puts the bat on the ball. That could be our leadoff hitter. And I wanted Murphy because he was a lefty, but LeMahieu is a righty, but he fits the same type of mold. So I like that, and he's a good defender. So I definitely do like that move.
I don't even know who this is. Who is this?
DJ LeMahieu. They signed him yesterday from Colorado. He was like an all-star second baseman.
All right, we got a second baseman though. What are we doing here?
Well, he can play all around the infield.
Oh, all right.
So they'll probably put him at third, first, whatever they need a guy.
Well, I think that means they just don't have the confidence in Andujar, which to me.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think he'll be in. I think.
Yeah, but who do you sit? You don't sit Torres. I mean.
I think he'll put LeMahieu could play first. I think you could move Torres to short while Didi's out for a while. Do you trust Tulowitzki? I don't. No. I mean, I don't trust him to stay healthy. If he's in, I like him, but I don't think he'll be on the field a lot. So if he's out, then who's going to play short? Probably Glaber. So then LeMahieu plays second. They're giving. What I like is they're giving Boone options. Everybody's not going to play every day, but I think they're giving Boone options. But I think Andujar will be the third baseman, at least to start.
All right. Well, like I said, we'll see how things shake out in baseball, so forth. So
for sure.
Before we sign off, let's just again acknowledge our sponsors. Lynch Toyota of Manchester, Connecticut, been with us all year. Harley Davidson of Utica, and our newest sponsor is Di Filippi Bakery up in Monticello. Like I said, I told you, you said you wanted to head to the casino up there sometime. Make sure you stop in for a cannoli because they're pretty good.
Well, I'm gonna go soon for sure.
All right, so listen, thanks for our little special. Thanks for joining us, folks, and we'll catch you on our next show. Enjoy the games, partner.
Enjoy. Have a good one, guys.
Be good.